So what are some common use cases that we see in our companies? Well, in general, we bring value whenever a company, team, or an individual needs to know what their customers think. So to stimulate opinions, this is usually the case for marketing, strategy, innovation, and design. In these cases, we help with the decision-making to make it faster and more reliable. The first common use case is to bring the voice of the customer into decision-making for innovation and design. Most commonly, when you have design sprints, you can only invite so many people for interviews or prototyping, but with AI respondents, you can really double-check what people think on the way. So you do not need to limit yourself on very specific timeframes when you can approach people, very limited number of people, but you can shoot your questions about habits, needs, opinions, preferences on the go. The second common pain we hope to relieve is for market research departments themselves. So usually a company only has budget and time for a fraction of the research that really needs to be done. And we see this in our companies. So whenever we implement our system into a company, we see that they do at least 12 times more research than they did before. And it's perfectly natural. No one really has the time to work with all the people for asking. With AI models, this worry really goes away because they cannot be bothered and they cost a fraction of the usual cost of human respondents. The third most common use case for us is whenever a company wants to do more research in more countries or on more groups. Because if you imagine, you can do the same survey in Germany, France, and the UK, and in real world, you would have needed 3 agencies, 3 surveys, 3 sets of different respondents. With AI models, this is really just one click away. The fourth of the use cases is whenever a company is curious about a niche group or hard to reach group. So if you imagine, for example, dollar millionaires living in the Czech Republic or children, these are populations that are very difficult to get hold of. With AI, this is quite easy to simulate, and our models are specialized to also bring valuable and accurate information on niche audiences. The fifth use case that I would like to share with you is future forecasting, or what happens if. Today, you do not really have access to people from 2030, but our models can simulate what the people of future think. So companies can simulate either what their future customers will think about sustainability or what kind of brand of shampoo they are going to buy. Also, it happens to plan different approaches and play out different scenarios without the real-world consequences. Whether we are talking about launching a new product, communicating a difficult topic, or doing a decision that could be unpopular. In this way, we love adding value to anyone who needs to work with public opinion and with consumer opinion. If you can forecast and simulate how people are going to think, feel, and behave as a result of your actions, it is going to help tremendously with doing the right decisions in a world where opinions evolve fast and where you need to target specific niche audiences. This is tremendously helpful for departments of marketing, innovation, strategy, or even market research itself. The better the decisions, the better your chances of outrunning your competition.